guys? Welcome to Straight from the Chest. My name is Justin Groth, guys. Thank you for giving me your listening ear. Thank you for tuning in with me. We're getting this shit done late. This is 11 p.m. I'm usually getting ready for bed, but I had a long day. I just didn't make it quite on time. But we're here anyways. We're here. We're doing the thing. So let's do it. Guys, the other day I had a podcast with my friend Ramon. Many of you know him if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, because I talk about him a lot regarding the technological side of things. He helps me with that. He's a key player in that. He's actually a key player in the impetus behind me even starting a podcast. So big shout out to him, and I'm just very thankful for him. He knows that. And you know, on the podcast that yesterday, which is going to be revealed on his channel, Dad's Podcast Project. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe there, and you'll be able to check that out. We got on the topic of the pandemic, obviously, because the pandemic is a big topic of conversation. And he asked me the question, I'm paraphrasing here, but I believe it was something in the regard of, was it hard for me to, or what changed for me when the pandemic hit? And I kind of alluded to nothing really, because nothing really did change, but there was one aspect of my life that did change, and quite prominently in terms of the psychology behind this topic. And it was the topic of the gym. And look, the reason why I say nothing much changed for me is because we laughed about this, but it was basically because I'm a really simple guy and I don't do a whole lot. I stay home a lot. I'm a fair bit of a recluse, and I just don't like to. I'm extroverted, but I'm also introverted. I like to stay home. I like to do a lot of things here at the house, and a lot of those things are just, me having downtime, and I think maybe that's another way I charge up, but also I charge up predominantly, I think, with people. And so, being that was the case, that this leads me into the topic. When I didn't have the gym and I wasn't around people, that was the biggest thing for me that sucked the most, and that was the biggest hit that I took, and I understood it. It was far more draining than I ever thought or anticipated, because I had never been through that. And this is not a struggle by any means. I'm not, expressing it or painting the picture like it is a struggle. You didn't have the gym, boo-hoo, I'm not saying it like, look, I know it's not a struggle, but what I'm going to get to is something that is very prominent in my life, and I think it's prominent in many people's lives, and it's the reason why we actually gain a lot of energy. And it was the fact that I didn't have people to be around. I didn't have people to interact with. There wasn't, and we coined the term last night, silent camaraderie. And the reason why it's silent is because you may not be speaking to these people. You may not even be watching them. Like, you may be thinking they're a dumbass, like a moron, like who knows, right? But at the same time, or you may even have vendettas with people at the gym. If you're like me, you maybe have a couple people that you have a vendetta with. Or maybe you just don't want these people to come up and talk to you because you know what they're about, and you just, the energy is like not good, and it's like, okay. So you have but nonetheless, you have these components of energy that exist that don't exist when you're by yourself. And I came to the realization that when this pandemic started and everybody closed down, and I worked out on my own, albeit, look, I'm fortunate to have a studio, a gym where I can do things in, and I don't have to just do stuff at my house, but it's definitely not the same. And when I moved out of that commercial space and into my own space, it was the fact that I didn't have people around me, just a big drainer. And that was something that I had to contend with, because it was like, look, this is a part of my life. I'm still going to work out. Even if I just have one dumbbell, I'm going to work out. But I realize how much it sucks without people. How much it really, really sucks without that silent camaraderie. And I came to the realization, before I got sidetracked, the realization was this: I'd rather be around people I hated, and I don't hate anybody, but people I didn't like, people that made me cringe. I'd rather be around a lot of those people working out than by myself around nobody. And it goes back to, I think, just us from a primal aspect. Like, we need people. You may think you're cool on your own, you're good on your own. You're not. You're not 1,000% what you could be without the administration of people. You're just not. And then the way you interact with those people is a whole different subset, right? Or it's a whole different subdivision of character, rather. It's you have to understand that, look, if you try to go about this your own way in life, when I say go about this, I mean your life, your life's mission, and you think people don't matter, and you think people are just, I fucking hate people, I don't want that, people piss me off. If that's you, and I understand that, I can definitely relish with that, but at the same time, you need to come to an agreement with certain people. Maybe you're just around the wrong people. The people that you're around, they piss you off. You gotta get around different people. You gotta get around different mindset-oriented people. And that's what the gym is. Like, one thing we have in common at the gym, everybody there, even if you don't like them, they're all there for the same reason: to better themselves. Whether their doctor told them they need to better themselves by exercising, or by the mirror telling them they need to better themselves because they don't like the way they look. That's the one common denominator that we can all settle on. We're all there to be a little bit better. And that, I think, that energy that kind of permeates through the gym, that's the reason why people need the gym with other people, because it kind of, it's in a collective sense, it supercharges you to be just a little bit better. When you take that away, you strip that of people, and they're by themselves. Why do you think people, when they're working out on their own at the gym, at their own little house, man-made built gym with a squat rack, and that's like fucking it, and some bands, why do you think it's hard for them to do the work as they would do if they were in a gym? And if you think it's just because they don't have all the luxury equipment, I mean, you're fucking mistaken. And there could be a few people in the world that actually prefer to work out in the gym, that don't like to be around people. Those exist. I have a friend that's like that. But he also is in a different tide pool of mentality. Like, he's a different kind of person. He's an engineer. I mean, those people are a little bit different, but they have to be. And they're a whole different respective field of work. And they use, it's just they're a little different, but they're different in the good respect. They're just stupidly smart. That's totally oxymoron, right? But they are ridiculously smart, and they compartmentalize things differently than you and I do, probably. But nonetheless, most people, they need to interact with people. And even if it's a silent interaction, there's still energy permeating through people in that space. And we need that to kind of keep going. You don't need it, I guess, but it's definitely something that's profitable to you. When you strip that, it really takes out the wind of out of your sail, man. Because at least it did for me. That's the one thing that really hit me going into this thing that we're in. And the point of this podcast was to essentially help you to understand that, look, or this message rather, not the podcast, the message of this podcast was rather to help you to understand that you need people. You need people. So if you need people and you understand how valuable their energy is, the right people, not just anybody, the right people, people that understand you, that absorb you, that receive you, that love you. You need these people because these people are going to help you to grow. But in the same context, some of these people, even if they love you, they can also be a determinant factor for you. It's all in context, and it's all in relationship context. Only you know the discerning nature of people when they're in your life. And then some people, they come in seasons. They come in. They're here for a moment, and maybe you're getting all the signs like, look, I don't think that this is a good relationship to be in. It seems like it's more toxic than anything. And it doesn't mean that person's bad. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that you two are not compatible. And you need to learn to separate, to detach. And that can be a good thing, and it can be a hard thing. Not getting too much into relationships, but for you to say that, look, I don't need people, or I don't think that this person, I think this person is, well, that's getting too far into it. I don't really want to get into that. I really do want to also, I just really want to touch on the fact that the energy that you get through things that you love, the camaraderie that takes place there, those things are undeniably not interchangeable. You need those things, and if you take that away, you effectively take out an element to you that is progressive. And we need that to progress. And I think that's the way that I know that's the way that our whole entire civilization kept going and kept moving forward, because we communicated and we were around people. We created civilizations by communicating, by building together, by putting our heads together. So to say that when you take out the human aspect, the communicative aspect of humans, the interactive aspect of humans, you effectively take away what a human is, or a portion of what a human is. And that's why we need the interaction. We need the energy. You can believe in energy or not. I don't care. I believe in energy. It's something that I don't know if I would even call it energy. It is energy, but I feel there's something that you feel when you're around people. And that's oftentimes why it's hard. I'm so sensitive with people. I may act like I don't give a shit, and most of the time, I've said this before, most of the time people that say they don't give a shit, those are the people that actually give more of a shit. They just trying to tell themselves I don't give a shit to act hard, tough. And that's really not at the end of the day, that's really not the theme of their life. They actually do give a shit. And the thing is, when you do care, you're sensitive. You're more sensitive. If there's something that happens between you and another individual, and you relish in it, and you want to make it better, it's obviously you care. And it's something that I think that keeps people honest, that keeps people noble, that keeps your character whole and pure. And I'm not saying that you're going to get along with everybody, or there's people that you're not going to be like, fuck you. And maybe some people you should say that to. I'm not saying that like in a derogatory sense, but if they keep draining you and they keep pulling from you, and you're being who you are, and they're just not accepting it, that person needs to go fucking eat dirt. Like, seriously. And I don't, like I said, I don't mean that in a denigrative way. I mean that, like, figuratively speaking, they just need to fuck off. Because that person's not right for you. And they'll never be right for you. Because they don't see who you are. They don't understand your quirks, your idiosyncrasies. They don't understand you. Or maybe you just don't jive with that person. Maybe just your dynamic doesn't jive with that person. That's fine. But know when to say enough is enough and leave it be. And you can be okay turning the page in that regard. Because you gave everything you could to that person. And this could be in a friendship. This could be in a business relationship. Like, you don't have to feel this way about a spouse or about a relationship with the opposite gender. Like, this could be in a friendship or a business relationship. You say, look, XYZ, you're not happy here. Like, this is who I am. I've given you who I am. It clearly doesn't gel with you. That's okay. And then and hopefully they just depart. You know what I mean? But you're not going to align with everybody, and that's okay. But at the same time, be understanding of when to cut that off, because there is a time, and you could be effectively giving more time to something that really just is not only taking from you, but obviously robbing you of time that could be with somebody who has what you need. Now, again, this is all in the context of your relationship. This is in the context of where you are in terms of your character, how you interact with people. And I say that because not everybody is going to understand, like, look, I need to be this for this person. No, not necessarily. You need to focus on what you feel authentic about, and really function in an organic state. Like, that's the worst thing you can do, is to go apart from that or dilute who you really are to salvage whatever it is with you and this person. You need to just understand that it's not always going to be that easy in life with people, but it's not to say that person doesn't serve purpose, merit, have value in your life. It's just maybe you need to know when your time is up. And maybe you need to, again, I don't want to get too much in relationships, but shit, I feel like I just keep fucking going back to that. This was supposed to be about the gym. It's supposed to be about energy that you feel in the gym. People, you need camaraderie. Why the fuck did I get into personal relationships? But sometimes that's what happens. I mean, I'm only human, and I'm only talking off the cuff here, because truth is, I hate being anything else. But that's just who I am. I don't like to be scripted. I don't like to have an outline. I mean, I like to have an outline, rather, but I don't like to have a course of direction, because that's just not who I am. I don't like that. I like to be unchained. I like to have the boundaries pushed aside. I already put too many boundaries in my life. I already put too many chain link fences up. I got too many fucking disciplines. I acquire too many idiosyncrasies from those disciplines sometimes. But that's just who I am. And you got to understand that that's not a bad thing. That's who you're. That's a part of your signature, so to speak, in life. The treasure hunt comes from finding the people that understand that and that absorb it and see where you're at in your life and don't discount you as a byproduct. And I think that it starts with when you're, let's say, working out in a commercial gym or around people in your office or working in the field with a bunch of different people. Like, I just want you to know that that's far better than doing this shit alone. And that's why you should be cognizant over how you treat people. You should be cognizant over what you say, but you should never not be authentic. And sometimes authenticity hurts the other person. It's the way you deliver it that can possibly dampen the wound, dampen the abrasion, so to speak, but at the same time, maybe you don't deliver it that way. And that should be okay. I'm not saying get it all, hyper-aggressive here, but at the same time, you got to understand that you have a certain way of being, and maybe it's not going to gel with other people. But it doesn't discount the fact that you do need people, and you do need energy. Hopefully you get it from other people. You may get it from other things, but I believe that the main component to you becoming better is to be affiliated and working and communicative with people and having that energy, so to speak, around you to progress you. The moment you think you don't give a shit and you don't need people, I think you're fucked. So take with that what you will. I know I need people, but I need the right people. Done. Should have blocked her.